The very warmest of welcomes to you indeed. Stadium in the Duhail district of northwest Doha. Ollie Roos drew 0-0 with Jordan. All of that means that there is much to play for, and this is a very important fixture for both. Fence Komantegu, who wears number 4. Not so long ago, just a couple of months ago in fact, and in this very city, the senior teams met at the senior edition of the Asian Cup. It was a round of 16 match.
Back to Balotelli, it runs for Aguero! They do it! City win the title! It's Aguero with his 30th goal of the season! I don't believe what I'm seeing! Manchester...
Their potential. Many of those players are in the starting lineup today, including the goalkeeper. They also have the same manager. In total, 13 of the younger caps. As a result, they will be hopeful of getting the upper hand against this, compromised by the loss of 2 players, albeit one of them in stoppage time at the end of the match. But one just after half-time. Ivar Jenner was sent off at the start of the second half, and in the 96th minute, compromised by the loss of 2 players, albeit one of them in stoppage time at the end of the match. But one just after half-time. Ivar Jenner was sent off at the start of the second half, and at the end of the match, in the 96th... Compromised by the loss of 2 players, albeit one of them in stoppage time at the end of the match. But one just after half-time. Ivar Jenner was sent. Fence Komantegu, who wears number 4. A touch fortunate. Shin Tae-yong, compromised by the loss of 2 players, albeit one of them in stoppage time at the end of the match.
If anyone can... Aguero! They do it! City win the title! It's Aguero with his 30th goal of the season! I don't believe what I'm seeing!
Compromised by the loss of 2 players, albeit one of them in stoppage time at the end of the match. Compromised by the loss of 2 players, albeit one of them in stoppage time at the end of the match. Compromised by the loss of 2 players, albeit one of them in stoppage time at the end of the match. In the 96th minute, Republic of Korea for Suwon is the stand. Tama Arhan, where's number 12. If you wonder why there was a real roar of excitement when he got the ball in that position for the throw, it's because he is a big assist provider with his throws. That's why. And he does launch them. Not bad. Shin Tae-yong, 23 for Lucas Moragas. Plays for the Newcastle Jets, but not for much longer. On his way to the Central Coast Mariners behind, so Marcelino. Complicated side at the Jets, as I'm sure many of you know. Tama Arhan, Wetan Sulaiman. They lost Ramadan Sanan Beach. Ryan Teague, key part of that, but 5th appearance for the under-23 national team. And his 4th one was flawless. Bullied off the ball, right pressure on the Ollie Roos early on. Where Komantegu, who wears number... Shin Tae-hong's team will have to be...
Oh, what a screamer! What a goal from Andrea Pirlo!
A fan base that is largely behind them today. And just leaving a fraction too much space, particularly in wide positions for... But so far, they're the ones creating the space. Witten Sulaiman. Parent club is... I've been spending a lot of time at a fan base that is largely behind them today, and just leaving a fraction too much space. The defence, Koman Tegu, who wears number 4, who has actually scored, getting the upper hand against this Australian side. Just a couple of months ago, in fact, and in this very city, the senior teams met at the senior edition of the Asian Cup. It was a round of 16 match, a very important stage of the senior tournament. They were beaten by 4-0, but they played with dignity, and they impressed so many with their spirit and with their potential. Many of those players are in the starting lineup today, including the goalkeeper. They also have the same man.
Oh, what a screamer! What a goal from Andrea Pirlo! Fantastic goal! See with an early run, he's onside this time. It's 1-1.
The AFC Under-23 Asian Cup, Qatar 2024. An opportunity for the next generation to shine. At the senior edition of the competition earlier this year in Doha, they'd never done before. They made it to the round of 16. Many that young squad is here today. Suddenly they seem very experienced in comparison to some of the Australian players. Can they do what they were not able to do in the senior equivalent of the competition and get a victory against the Olyroos? We shall find out very soon. First came on as a substitute in that game, but he captains the team today. Number 8 creative midfielder Witten Sulaiman is in the same boat, and he will look to link up with Kelly Stroyer, who wears number 19 and who won Southeast Asian Games gold last year. Indonesia are missing 2 players today, both due to red cards against Qatar. No Ivar Jenner in the midfield and no Ramadan Sananta in attack. On the right, Jacob Italiano, the captain, and in the centre, Majed Al-Shamrani of Saudi Arabia. Italiano's opposite number is Girido. And Abdullah Al-Shehri is the gentleman in charge of the video review studio. There's no surprise that Patrick Beach remains in goal for Australia. He was probably the Olyroos' best player in the goalless draw with Jordan, but there are several changes, including number 17 Jacob Italiano coming into the defence and wearing the captain's armband. Another change sees number 8 midfielder Keegan Jelicic come into the team, and exciting attacker Mo Toure, who wears number 19, is rewarded for his useful contribution as a substitute in the last game by starting today. Australia may call upon number 7 Lachlan Brook from the bench. He was close to scoring against Jordan. Not the most fluent and fluid of performances against Jordan, but defensively the Australians were strong, the goalkeeper was excellent. Now they are favoured, surely, to be victorious against a promising young Indonesian team. But there is one caveat: a lot of these Indonesian players are very established senior internationals. They might fancy their chances against a relatively younger, in terms of international experience, Australia squad today. Time will tell. Welcome one and all, great pleasure to have your company. Indonesia facing Australia at the AFC Under-23 Asian Cup Qatar 2024. The setting is the Abdullah bin Khalifa Stadium in Duhail in the northwest of Doha. And the Indonesian community, of which there are quite a few in Qatar, is here to support Just have a look at Tony Vidmar, an emblem of Australian football for many years, and pretty close to a theological figure, so hugely respected is he. Fabulous player, hard-working, determined, proud to wear the national colours. Shin Tae-yong, same age as Vidmar, 53, also the manager of the senior Indonesian national team, and it's Indonesia in possession now with their captain Rizky Ridho, who was part of the team that played in that 4-0 defeat. And a good opportunity here for the opening goal. Kelly Schroyer in plenty of space. Simple ball, but very effective from Rizky Ridho. And alarmingly, a lot of space there for Witan Sulaiman to pull it back to Schroyer, who's only scored once for the Under-23 national team. That was against Thailand in the semi-final of the Under-23 AFF Championship last year, a regional competition where Indonesia were the runners-up. It did take a touch behind, so Marcelino will take the corner kick. Forward from the defence, Koman Tegu, who wears number 4, who has actually scored twice for the Under-23 national team. What a shame that all just totally fell to pieces, and there's a chance here for Australia. A real breakaway opportunity, this, from one end to t'other, and in the end quite comfortably wide. He's the gentleman who was a substitute in the game against Jordan, Mo Toure. And if there is one thing that you are well advised not to do when facing a team featuring Mo Toure, it's to give away possession when most of your defenders are up the other end of the pitch, and give him a chance to sprint through, because he's very fast and he's quite an exciting prospect. Here is Zaki Ashraf wearing 23. Enjoyable start to the match. Australia drew 0-0 with Jordan in their opening contest. And in some respects, they were a touch fortunate not to lose that match. Patrick Beach was really instrumental for them in goal. They did have a few chances themselves, but the busier of the goalkeepers was Beach, who proved himself to be absolutely the right choice to start. Flag raised for Indonesia. They lost 2-0 to the host nation Qatar, compromised by the loss of 2 players, albeit one of them in stoppage time at the end of the match, but one just after half-time. Ivar Jenner was sent off at the start of the second half, and then they lost Ramadan Sananta in the 96th minute. Pratama Arhan Where's number 12 for Indonesia? Plays in the Republic of Korea for Suwon. Is the standard throw-in taker for the Indonesians. If you wonder why there was a real roar of excitement when he got the ball in that position for the throw-in, it's because he is a big assist provider with his throws. That's why. He does launch them. Marcelino Ferdinand. Not bad. .23 for Australia. Lucas Moragas plays for the Newcastle Jets, but not for much longer on his way to the Central Coast Mariners.
What a goal from Andrea Pirlo!
Many of you know.
Fantastic goal! Out of absolutely nothing. Sheer quality.
Exuberance of committing players to the attack, especially with a fan base that is largely behind them today, and just leaving a fraction too much space, particularly in wide positions, for the Australian attack to punish them. But so far, they're the ones creating the space. Witten Sulaiman. Parent club is Persija Jakarta, but he's been spending a lot of time at Bayangkara. He was the first Indonesian ever to play in Serbia when he went over to Europe several years ago. Also played in Poland and also played in Slovakia for Trenčín. But he joined Bayangkara on loan in November, so he's moved around a little bit of late. A little too physical, trying to win it back, Nishan Velupillay. Slightly bundled over Mohamed Ferrali. And the captain today, and into the team after not participating in the opening match against Jordan, Jacob Italiano. Part of the team that finished third way back in the 2020 edition. And there is the Paris-based Mo Touré on loan at Paris FC from his parent club Reims. And it gives us a reminder every time we see him that this is a qualification competition for Paris 2024 for the Olympiad, and that the top 3 teams will go through to the Olympic Games, which Australia have done on 6 previous occasions, including in Tokyo, where they had that memorable win against Argentina and found themselves on the crest of a wave that calmed itself down all too quickly. But they did finish 4th in 1992 when their manager today, Tony Vidmar, played and scored. At the back for Australia, Jordan Courtney-Perkins and Alexander Popovich, as was the case in the centre of defence in the first game. The changes to the fullbacks made. And a corner kick for the Olyroos. At least Indonesia don't have Harry Suter to worry about on this occasion. And some of their players, 5 of whom started the match in the round of 16 at the senior AFC Asian Cup, know just how traumatic an experience that can be from a set piece. Courtney-Perkins is forward. Similar really to Indonesia's early corner kick, it rather peters out and gives the opposition a counter-attacking chance. And listen to that roar as Marcelino Ferdinand plays it wide to Fajar Fatur Rahman. Marcelino has it back, finds Rahman of Borneo Samarinda. Arhan, cut out well. There is always that danger to find Toure. That time it was